Do you want some ideas for using these cute little A2 paper pads from scrapbook.com? Hi, I'm Jess from jesscrafts.com and I'm here to help you make the most of your crafty supplies and time. So let's get making. I have A2 paper busting template number 3 for A2 cards. So I'm going to take an A2 piece of paper and make 2 A2 sized cards without any pattern paper scraps. Even though I'm going to use A2 sized paper, I did want to highlight that you can also use this with 8.5 by 11 paper, because if you take an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and you cut it into a set of even 4, so in half and then in half again, it does make one sheet of A2 sized paper. So it's great for these little pads and for your 8.5 by 11 pieces. I'm going to work with the scrapbook.com Noel collection, and the day that I release this video, if you like this Noel collection, you might want to check out scrapbook.com's live stream. I'll leave you a link because it might be cute. Of course it's cute. It's scrapbook.com, right? Okay, so I'm going to take this green paper. It's really simple, but that's okay. It even has a solid on the back. That's actually something that I want about today. Now, the last A2 paper busting template I shared with you did not work with directional pattern paper. And when I realized that, I was like, no. When I create more of these, I'm going to really try to focus on making them work well with directional pattern paper. So I'm following the directions. It tells me to cut it to 2.25 wide. So I'm taking my A2 piece and I'm cutting it to 5.5 by 2.25. And then it's going to be 2.75 long. And those are the 2 rectangles that I'm going to need. And then this piece is going to get cut in half, so there'll be 2 1-inch pieces. And that's going to be easy to measure here on my Tim Holtz paper trimmer. It's a little bit tricky on my guillotine, so when I'm working with a smaller paper, this one's actually pretty nice. So I have these 2 long strips, and then it's kind of hard to see there. Maybe I'll use this side. Like that. Is a nice sort of basic design, but I want to cut some cardstock mats for these. So when I said I'm going to design more of these for A2 paper because I'm having this like pile of A2 papers growing here in my collection, and I want to get some things, I want to get to using them. So I have 10 of them now, and this is number 3, so it's going to take me a while to share them all. They will all be free. They're paper busting templates. That's what I do. I release them one at a time for free. You have to enter your email address and then it gets sent to you. But if you are like, you know what, I know I'm going to use these. I have a lot of A2 paper and you just want to go ahead and buy the collection pack right now, you can just go buy it on Etsy and you can get them all ahead of time. And to just, you'll have them all in one big download. You don't have to enter your email every time. You don't have to wait for me to release them week by week or anything like that. But, of course, please feel free, especially because once you join my email list, I will send each week, most weeks, I send a little update where I'm like, hey, this is the freebie that was released this week. This is the A2 template I shared. So, just wait for that to show up. So I'm cutting my mats. My mats are 1/4 inch bigger always. So I'm going to... Let me make sure I'm doing my math right. I'm going to cut it to 3 inches. You can use whatever cardstock you want. I'm just using some coordinating scrapbook.com cardstock, mostly because it's on my desk next to me. I mean, that is like the primary reason I choose things. Sometimes I'm like, well, this die set's out, so I wonder if I want to make another card with that. And then we're going to go to 2.5. So... for the rectangles. Hopefully I did my measurements right here and I don't get distracted too much talking because that happens to me sometimes. Okay. And I did choose this red because I already know what I want to do for my embellishments. I saw a couple of weeks ago another scrapbook.com live stream because trust me, I am a sucker for a good scrapbook.com live stream. Many of you know I'm an affiliate for scrapbook.com, so when you purchase something from them, I earn a small commission, but I just really love their products. I use them all the time, and I love that the live streams are just like this great way to pick up the scrapbook.com exclusives at really good prices. So then when I see them and I'm like, well, I don't have that die set yet, I don't have that stamp set yet, I may as well get it at this price. And so, yeah. Anyway, I got the fall treats. It's like a coffee die set. Do I have it sitting somewhere on my desk? I don't know, I might have put it away. But it had these little coffee cups in it. And so I really wanted them, and I wanted to use my Cloud Whip with them. So I decided to experiment with my Cloud Whip, and I made the little whipped cream on top of these. I'm not going to show you how I did that in this video just because I have a dedicated short video where I share 4 different things to do with Cloud Whip, including how to make this whipped cream. And so for those of you who want to see that, you can go ahead and watch that video. I'm going to see if I can focus in on it, and you see there's some nice texture on the whipped cream on top of these. So I'll talk a little bit about that in that video. Originally, I thought I was gonna do like this green and mix it, but I think I might just use it like single-sided paper, even though it is double-sided, and I do like the solid. Maybe I'll do one of each, and you guys tell me which you prefer. I usually prefer to mix patterns, but I also do really love this dark green. I don't know if you can tell, if you can, yeah, on camera, that this is actually a pattern. It's a really nice tone on tone. Love that at Christmas. Love that it helps you to really like make whatever embellishment you choose to pop. Okay, and then we'll attach these to some card bases. I assemble my cards. I take a look at the sketch so I know how my original plan for assembling them are, but always feel free to mix it up. And I said earlier when I made all of these so that you could use them with directional paper, because I find that most of the pads that I have that are A2 have directionality at the top, and it's on quite a few papers. This one's not bad, this particular pad, but like these birds are directional, the Christmas trees are kind of directional. Luckily they like, it's directionality both ways, but that doesn't really help in terms of turning it on its side. Now they definitely look like they're on their side, right? So because my experience is that a lot of directionality comes in these paper pads, I took that into account when designing them. But you may not, that might not be your experience. And then don't worry, because non-directional pattern paper definitely works. That's never a problem. And then, but you could mix it up. Like, if it didn't matter about the directionality of your paper, which it doesn't in this case, this is non-directional pattern paper, and I really wanted my rectangle to go this way instead, then go for it. I just show it here in the simplest way that works with the most number of pattern papers. Okay, and we'll lay that down. And I mentioned I have this already ready to go, but I thought, okay, well, I could, of course, add a sentiment to this. I could die cut a sentiment or anything like that, but I have all this space on the coffee cup. And so why not take advantage of that and just put my sentiment directly onto it? I have the scrapbook.com Sweet Christmas. This was available in a recent live stream as well, because again, scrapbook.com live streams, man. It's a weak spot for me. I'm like, well, maybe I do. This is a great price, and then there's a freebie, and maybe I do need to place another order. But actually, scrapbook.com did send me the Sweet Christmas, that bundle, so I want to be clear about that. I don't get them all, of course, but occasionally I will do some design work for scrapbook.com. Anyway, I'm just using the Sending Warm Hug sentiment. It was one big long strip, but I cut it so that I could stack it for this coffee cup. And it doesn't scream when you cut it, don't worry. You can cut your stamps and then you can put them right back together. So if I wanted to use it as one big long strip, I would just place it back next to each other. Not a problem. But this gives me a little bit more versatility. That's what's something that's really nice about clear stamps versus like rubber block stamps. Not that we see those that much anymore. We have a craft thrift store near us, and they always have a lot of rubber block stamps. I guess people, when they're destashing, they're like, well, I have these older ones, they're a little bit less versatile or something, but they can have some really gorgeous designs. Anyway, I stamped it with soot instead of black, just so that it, because I want it to kind of have an overall, warmer, sort of Christmassy tone. And then I will probably pop them up just to give it a little bit more. I was like, wait, this looks a little more plain than I thought it was supposed to. And I realized I had one more little detail I wanted to add. So the fall treats, if you look on the back, it has this little die here that can be used for cinnamon sticks or a straw in the fall traits, but I thought, oh, it would also look like a little like candy cane popping out. So you can, there is a little die that cuts all the stripes. So you can absolutely do that. Or we all know Jess is a lazy crafter. Jess is probably not going to glue down teeny tiny little die cuts. So what instead I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw little red stripes across. I think the die cut probably looks a little better, especially if you don't have a very steady hand. But, you know, this is going to be certainly faster. And you can just use whatever red pen you have on hand. You just got to be okay with it might being a little bit less than perfect versus using the die. And yeah, then we're gonna glue that in. This red, luckily, looks pretty similar to the Christmas red cardstock that I pulled out. Just make sure you give that a second to dry. And then you could pop that in as a little candy cane or straw. You could add some cinnamon sticks here to the edge and then finish off your cards. If you found this video helpful, here's another video where you can find more ideas for enjoying your crafty time and supplies. Let me know you like this video with a share to your crafty community, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next template or tutorial, and check the video description for product links, including that pack of 10 different paper busting templates if you just can't wait to get your hands on it. There's also a coupon code down there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.